I discovered yesterday evening as I was watching the news on January 6th that I was in the middle of a trauma response. This is Jackie with Coventry Creations, and I just want to talk about how to find your ground during or after trauma. It's hard to find your ground in the middle of trauma, and many of us yesterday, as we were watching the news and we were watching the storming of the Capitol and how upsetting that was, is there was a lot of trauma response, and that looks different for different people. My experience was that as I was watching the news and I'm focused on it, I'm in it, and I'm processing all this information, every now and again my vision would start to just come in, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe what I was experiencing, and I was really upset. And then I remembered that I've taught a class on this. I worked with Heather Killen, and we came up with some really good things and really good exercises to get yourself grounded again and centered and focused and your aura in again while you're in the middle of trauma. So here's what happens is that when trauma or we're scared or we're nervous or maybe we're not feeling well happens, it's like our energy goes poof, and our aura spreads out and it gets really loose and thin. And we're searching, in my theory, we're searching for stability. Who's going to solve this? Where's my answers? And there isn't an answer or a resolution in the middle of trauma. There is just getting through it. And one of the things we can do is to bring our aura in, to ground, to get back in our bodies, to feel uncomfortable. And it's okay to feel uncomfortable. And then keep stepping through until we can process it deeper at a later date. Our energy gets scattered, and then we start to feel powerless when we're in trauma. So here's how you can start to get some of that power, that inner power, that strength, refill your reserves so you have the energy to do what you need to do next. And for many of us, it's living our lives. I woke up this morning depressed. I woke up this morning stressed out, flipping through Facebook and watching everyone else's stress. I said, whoa, this is not the reality I want to live today. So let me show you what I did. So it starts with just body movements. I can't meditate when I'm freaking out. I don't know about you. I can breathe. I can calm my energy down, but I can't meditate. I can't ground, do nice meditation ground. So I do some physical things. And the first thing I do is put my hands on my hips and I stamp my feet. If you can, do that right now. You can feel your energy start to come together when you do that. I'm in my body. And when you stamp your feet, you're sending your roots right into the ground, right into the core of the earth. And it helps you anchor back into this lifetime, this body, this power, this strength. Simple as that. And then I'm going to start doing my other work. Okay, it also releases a lot of endorphins. It releases the stress that you're holding on. I found myself doing this as I was watching TV. So that helps me loosen up. I did it a couple of times this morning. I looked like I was having a temper tantrum, and that's okay because maybe I was. Releasing that whole thing, letting yourself let go of it. This really helps you do that. Once I did that a couple of times, I could start to breathe again. And not just breathe, but like my whole body, my whole spirit started to breathe again and started to unclench. When we're clenched, we're holding on to that horrible feeling. When we let go, so I did my stamping, and then I let go. I let my hands just let it go. Now I can anchor into my body. I put my nose in my nose, my toes in my toes, my spine in my spine, and my spirit in my body. And I'm going to give myself a really big hug. This is not a hug. That's being annoyed and closed off. This is giving yourself a hug. There's something about starting to touch your own back, touching your arms, and squeezing. Just I mean, like a hug, but like give yourself a hug. Like, I'm okay. I'm breathing. I'm okay. I got work to do. And maybe it's just your work every day. And then you open it up and you're letting the connections that don't belong to you go. In DIY Akashic Wisdom, I talk about different techniques for grounding, which is just kind of focusing on your feet and letting the energy that doesn't belong to you pool at your feet. And then those chakras at the bottom of your feet open up, and then it just goes into the earth. And then you can start to feel your connection with the earth. This has been a peeling back of it layer by layer as I can understand what I need to do and what I need to do next. Then I went and got my candles. I got my protection candle. This is something I lit for myself today. I need to protect not only my energy from absorbing all the stress going on everywhere else, everything that you're reading on social media, etc. We're all stressed. We're all in shock. This doesn't happen in our country. So I got my protection candle to protect my aura, my heart, my spirit, my space from absorbing what doesn't belong to me. And then I have other candles going. I have an emotional balance candle going to help me balance out, to understand what I'm feeling rather than being stuck in the moment. Hey, if you don't have a Coventry candle to do this stuff with, I mean, you could use a protection candle. You could use spiritual cleansing, I need a change, any of that stuff. You can also use whatever you've got. You got a nice smelling candle that you got for Christmas? Light that. And as you're letting stuff go, visualize that flame kind of burning it off. I mean, don't catch anything on fire, but allow the flame to pull that energy off of you and to transform it and release it. We're going to be okay. We are going to move through this. We're going to work our day as we need to work it. And then we're going to think about what we need to do for our own community and for our own group. It might be writing letters, it might be talking quietly, it might be activism, whatever it is, but get grounded in your moment and who you are so you don't act outside of who you truly are. Because when we do that, then we start to work in regret. When we're working from anger, and anger feeds itself, and we start to be like that ball rolling downhill, and it just becomes I call it the freight train running up the back of my head and only being in fight or flight. And nothing positive happens when we're in fight or flight. All we do is save our own bacon. So if you want to have something positive, you want to find some more meaning in your life on this, all of this, again, stomp your feet, have your little temper tantrum, let it go. Put yourself in your body, give yourself a hug. I'm probably going to do this about 14 times today as I work through my reaction and my response to this. Thank you for listening, and keep it magic, everybody, because magic is every day, and magic gets you through some of these things. Working our energy is magic. Healing is magic. All of this stuff is magic, so keep it close, and it will keep you close. Take care, everyone.